For all of you novices out there, like me, or rather those folk who have started making popcorn and gave up on it because they half burnt the stuff, that's me. I try to go to the microwave to make this stuff, but it just doesn't work in the microwave as nicely. So this is stovetop popcorn without burning any of this stuff. You know, you're going to have some lovely, lovely popcorn. So this is the ingredients that I'd recommend. Most people will recommend a half a cup of popcorn kernels, and they'll make that quantity. For me, if it's a single individual or two people that don't eat too much popcorn, you can have a quarter cup. So I'm going to show you the quarter cup, and if you're going to increase, you're going to go to half a cup. You just double the different things that I'm recommending. So for me, the scoop there is a quarter cup of popcorn kernels, and then I use coconut oil, 100% pure coconut oil. Look on the labels, folk. Make sure that you're not having like a 30% coconut oil and the rest is vegetable oil put in there. That's not good for sort of heating up and for your health. That's just my opinion there. You've got to find an oil like avocado oil or the coconut oil that's got a high smoking point. This means that when it heats up, it doesn't start to smoke very early, because you've got to sort of heat the oil effectively when you're going to make the popcorn. The other ingredient there is butter. Make sure this is butter and not margarine. We rather want to get the healthiest supplemental products that are going to be used with the popcorn than to, add some kind of toxic margarine to it. Just stick to the butter, stick to the 100% coconut oil and avocado oil, and you'll be spot on. The container I'm showing you there can take basically the amount of popcorn kernels that I'm going to make. Okay, now when it comes over to the pot, you could use a deep pot if you're going to use a half a cup of popcorn kernels, but in my case, a quarter cup works effectively in a pan, like a pan that you fry eggs in and so forth. It works perfectly there. The other thing is we usually don't have a lid that goes onto pans. They often aren't sold with lids. So check one of your other pots that's got a lid that's able to fit onto the pan, because you need to cover it, else the popcorn is going to pop all over. Okay, and you have your quarter cup of popcorn kernels. Take 2 of them out, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those 2 extra kernels. Okay, so we're going to take a tablespoon of coconut oil, place it into the pan and start to heat it up. Put it on high. Wait for it to melt nicely. Wait for it to heat up. And then you take the 2 popcorn kernels and throw it in there and put the lid in. The reason for doing that is that you want to test where the temperature of the actual oil is before you get to the next step. Once they pop there, the 2 kernels will pop. You then switch off the temperature, switch off the heat, or you just move it off the heat source, and you open it up and take those 2 popped kernels out, or they'll be popcorn now. You take them out, and then you take your quarter cup of kernels and throw it in there. Just move it around so it's evenly spread. Put the lid back on and leave it for a minute. What this is going to do is it's going to take that heat that's embedded in the oil and start to heat up each of these kernels. So it gets the kernels to start heating up evenly. Give it a shift or 2 around during that minute. Once the minute is done, you then turn the heat source back on and you move the pan onto that area, and make sure again the lid is on there, and let it start to, at high temperatures, start to then heat up the oil. You could occasionally sort of shake it around, but don't do too much shaking. It's going to start popping. So as it starts popping, you'll notice the one big difference to just throwing it in the oil, just at the first go, not following this procedure, is it pops very randomly. However, if you've done all that I've recommended, you'll see it starts to pop evenly. The things start to pop almost all at the same time they start to go. And that's the key there. The other key is it's important that you listen to the pops that are happening. And if you find it starts to diminish and it's only a few pops that are happening, as soon as you have that, a pop, it's happening, sort of closing down on the number of pops you have from the popcorn. Count at the last one, count quickly, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if between 1 and 5 there's not another pop, even if it feels like there's supposed to be more, you take it off the sauce, switch the sauce off, and just leave it there with the lid closed for another minute. The heat that's inside there will pop those kernels that are close to popping. They will pop. And for those who don't pop in there, they're not meant to pop within a certain time. That is the success pattern that you have there. Now you have everything popped in that area. And that's the goal that you want. When you transfer it out, you'll notice that there's going to be maybe 1, 2, or 3 unpopped kernels. And in some cases, you'll have no unpopped kernels. And nothing is burnt because you followed this procedure here. The next thing, we're going to get the butter. It's about a tablespoon of butter into, I use the same container that I used when I throw the popcorn in, the quarter cup. You can use any other container. Put in the tablespoon of butter, put it in the micro for about 15 seconds or so, and just check it will be nice and melted now. And this melted butter is what you'd throw over the popcorn. So that's it. It's quite amazing. There we've just got one kernel that hasn't popped and the stuff isn't burnt. And I think the more you do it and you realize that it's this easy, if you just follow this procedure, makes making popcorn a real pleasure. So just add your butter onto it and then your sea salt. I'm kind of biased when I mention sea salt because I make my own sea salt. And I branded it as J-Base sea salt. I haven't commercialized it yet, but I enjoy boiling up the actual sea salt, drying it out, and making this for my food and things I use all different on fruits and everything like that, and vegetables, cooking, and all sort of artisan kind of stuff. So it's J-Base sea salt. And then this salt I make as a sort of a totally dried out so I can squeeze it and it forms a powder, similar to the ones you get in the store, but pure, no artificial additives or anything. So let me just move outside, have a seat there, have some coffee, and say my goodbyes to you. Thanks for spending the time to watch this video. I'm sure that you start enjoying making popcorn going forward. Okay, so if you enjoyed that, and you're going to enjoy some nice popcorn, lovely fresh popcorn with sea salt from the ocean, straight from the ocean. Maybe in the future I'll make a video showing you how I made the salt. And natural butter, no margarine and stuff, and then you'll enjoy a lovely healthy snack. And then with that, that's a bit of savory. I have some ginger biscuits. I know there's a bit of sugar in here, so it's my little treat. And then some nice in-food. I put this here because I think I didn't show this earlier, but this is in-food. This is in Jeffreys Bay. This company makes their own coffee, or they supply their own coffee beans and so forth. And this is a Belletti that I make it in. So it's lovely, lovely coffee. It's no milk, no sugar, of course. Don't spoil your coffee. And they have some beautiful, sweet, I wouldn't call this bitter because if you get used to drinking without sugar, it actually has a nice flavor to it. And your savory. Okay, so I'm going to enjoy this now. I'm not going to eat much of the popcorn. I'm just going to have a cup of coffee. But I'm going to enjoy it, and hopefully you're going to enjoy making popcorn from now on. So yes, be blessed and shalom to everybody.